So in the last one I forgot a few details of the printer. So the first one was the thickness of the paper this printer accepts. So for this one it's 220 GSM, and I would say this is low comparatively to other printers because for most of them it is 275 GSM. So that's something to keep in mind. It's not that if you put a paper that has a higher thickness it will not work, but it's ideal to use the recommended paper size for best results. The other thing which I wanted to mention is that the product page claims that the maximum speed is 26 pages per minute color and 30 pages per minute black and white, and I'm thinking that's under the ideal circumstances. That's why it says maximum. But I had to see this. I mean, because there is this query in the comment section, and I had to see. I mean, I had to see it earlier as well, but now that someone was asking, I was more curious about it, so I tested it. So it was already connected to Wi-Fi, so I tried to do it first. And there is this book, Swords of Destiny, I think, and I'm not going to waste printing pages, so that's why I decided to print this book. And it is slow. I mean, it's not as fast as the product page claims, but then again, that's the ideal circumstances, and I don't know what the ideal circumstances are as per the company, right? So I decided to print first the pages on both sides, and because it says 30 pages, so I decided to print 30 pages. And it was slow, but I was not very annoyed by it or something like that, so I waited patiently, and that was still acceptable for me. So when I was printing using Wi-Fi, it took me around 6 minutes for printing 30 pages on both sides. And we also have different options, that if you are little low on ink or low on paper, and if you want to print multiple pages in one sheet, you can do that as well. So I wanted to talk a little bit about printing in general. So if you are a student, I think printers are must have these days because the cost of printing is increasing, and if you own a printer, then in the long run it will definitely save you some money. But in India it is considered as an expense as opposed to something which is very useful and very efficient. But I will recommend that you should get a printer if you do a lot of printing, or if you print photos in general, or if you fill a lot of forms. So yeah, definitely recommend it. And whenever you are using your cables, for some reason if you're using cable and not Wi-Fi, you can only print out when you are printing through the iPrint and scan. You're not going to be able to do it directly, but I think most of the people will be very comfortable using Wi-Fi as it's faster and it's more convenient. And then we had the second option. So apart from Wi-Fi, we only had cable option, and I was thinking that under cable it would perform better, but I was very wrong, and I was very annoyed by it. It was so slow that to print 30 pages on both sides it took me around 12 minutes, as you can see. And just to mention that you're not going to give a print command and then wait for the printer to print out all the pages. You're definitely gonna give the command, and then you're gonna go do something else, right? I decided to fast forward everything, so you can see it how it goes, but it was really slow. And because I didn't have a tripod, I had to stand the entire time and I had to just wait for the entire thing to be done. But in doing so, I did find out how to connect with cable. All you have to do is lift the scanner bed that you see here, and you can just plug in the cable that was given in the box, the gray one, and you have to put the USB into your laptop or desktop. And then if you open the iPrint and scan, and if you go to select machine, then there are two options. The first one is Wi-Fi, the second one is USB, and then you have to just click on the printer, and that's it. If this is not working, then you have to restart the laptop and the printer, and that will work fine. So it's not a big deal. So when it comes to scanning, there are two options. The first one is the obvious one, with you have a scanner bed, and you can put your sheet on the surface and then you can press the scan button. The other one is when you have multiple documents, when you have 20-25 documents. I have tested 18 pages after printing the book, right? I have put the documents, and you can just press scan after opening the iPrint and scan button, and you have to do nothing, right? The printer will take all the pages, and it will put the documents where they are, and I think this is a good feature. The only thing you have to remember is that the page you want to scan must be facing downwards, and you can't scan it in one go. I mean, you can't scan both the sides of the pages in one go, but you have this feature that if you have a bunch of pages and you want to scan it in one go, that's the way to go. And I think this is a very good feature a lot of students can use, right? If you want to save some notebook or something like that. There is this option where you can print 4 pages in one sheet if you are low on ink or on paper, and you also have this option of printing 2 sheets on one side of the page, right? So you can see how it looks. I think it looks great, and it will save you some time and money as well. So I want to talk a little bit about scanning when you have a lot of sheets. So let's say if you have 15 pages and you want to scan both the sides for all the 15 pages. So what you have to do is, because you can't scan both the sides of a single page, you have to do it in 2 parts. So first you will scan one side of the 15 page, and then you will do it for the second side of the page, right? And then you can combine both the sheets using PDF split, and then you can reorder all the pages as well. And if you look at the screen now, you can see 1 by 16, 2 by 16, and 3 by 16. So 1 by 16 is the first page of the book, 2 by 16 is the third page of the book, and 3 by 16 is the 5th page of the book. So you have to scan all the pages in 2 parts, and then you can use PDF split. I also wanted to talk about the printer and printer inks. I have printed out a total of 60 pages for this video, and after printing the first 30 pages, I had a recording of the level of the ink that was in the printer, and there was a video recording for the level after all the 60 pages had been have been printed, right? And you can see not a lot of difference between these 2 levels. So this is very impressive when it comes to printer and inks.